To be here again and in this fantastic accommodation, and Michael, we are very grateful to you for putting it at our disposal wholeheartedly, and all of our team are using it for their various functions and various purposes. Now, Jerry tells me over here, of course, in his strictly focused financial hat on, that he is actually saving money by having us here. And I said, don't destroy our warm feeling of being welcomed here for our own sake, not just for the sake of the few bob that Jerry is saving. But anyway, we'll convert to, we'll get a soul into that for the year. Seriously, I'd like to add a few words of welcome of my own to everybody that's here, particularly Michael Donnellan welcoming him to his own building. It was only orange I had. And our guests, all our guests from all walks of life, and including Vincent, you're very welcome for our Willis Square at the end of the day when you'll be launching the programme for us. And we have a special guest today whom I met earlier and I spoke with him, Sean Morgan from Dundalk, and he's going to tell us of his experiences and his interaction with Linkage, and of course the Linkage team themselves, without whom we wouldn't be here, and without whom none of the targets or none of the aspiration in the thing or in the report would have been achieved. Now, in other years at this point I would say what a wonderful year it was, and our number of TEOs have increased, and all the growth that we would be reporting year on year. But a phrase stuck in my mind from last year's launch, and that was Paddy's admonition to us as we left the building. Our objective, he said, for 2010 is to do more with less. And we've had that in spades, because we've had less, and that's through no fault of Michael, because I think he has strenuously tried to give us all the resources that we can and that we could possibly need, in spite of all of the limitations that have been put on himself. But we're now back to 2006 levels with our team, and that's fine. But if the caseload stood still, we'd be all happy. But the caseload has gone from 474 clients that interacted with us in 2006 to 907 in 2009. That is serious growth. And the whole challenge that both Paddy and the team were facing was to do the task and carry out the work without a diminution of service. That is the challenge that I think that they achieved and that they overcame. Last year our placements was over 1,000, just over 1,000. In 2008, sorry, and 2009 we had 1,300. Again, nothing stands still, and the challenge is increasing, and the workload is also increasing. Now, how was that achieved? It was achieved by good leadership from Paddy, and I say that without equivocation, and by the fullest collaboration from the team. I have never come across a group as cooperative and as committed to what they do as the Linkage team. He did a radical examination of all of our issues, how we do the job, what it takes to do the job. We structured the teams around the country so that we gave the optimum service to the counties that we could serve in the circumstances we were in. And then, concomitant with that, there was a radical adjustment in terms of costs, in terms of salaries, in terms of working conditions, and in terms of travel arrangements. And all of these things were done in the spirit of cooperation. Now, there was pain, everybody accepts that, but I think there was a mature realisation of the staff of the conditions in which we were operating and their own commitment to the task. I think it was a splendid achievement, and they are to be applauded and recognised for doing that. Now, Paddy mentioned value for money. I always get the plug in about value for money so that we can try and press people into giving a few more resources to the programme. But Paddy is dead right, and even his arithmetic works out. The value of the placements that we achieved in 2009, the 907 of them was 1,710. Now, that's good value for the state, and when you compare it with the cost of keeping a person in full-time employment, and John from Wheatfield will tell us that, 80,000 plus or whatever it is serious value for the state. And what upsets me is selective in its cost-cutting machinations, and moderate the cuts in agencies and in organisations where there is serious value for money being got. I know Michael has shielded us from the worst ravages of cost cutting to the best of his ability from the limited resources he gets from the Department of Justice, but it is still something that rankles. There is no selectivity and no focus on the value that's being derived. Vincent and his programme, we hear him these nights talking about the carers and all of the senseless cutting that happens in those areas, and you would ask yourself, where are our big minds leading us, or are they leading us at all? Paddy mentioned partnerships that we have, and they are vital. I think they're more vital now than ever because of the climate in which we're operating. And I repeat, the Probation Service, that is a fundamental relationship for us, and it's brilliant. We're here because of their disposition towards us, and we're here, I think, openly and welcome. We have TEOs in the Probation Services offices around the country, and that's the closest you can get to people working together. We have our own steering committee, which Paddy referred to all together, and I'd add my welcome to Anna as succeeding a long line of serious probations, senior officials who have served and worked with us on that steering committee. And Anna, your contribution thus far has been terrific, and we look forward to even more in the future. And obviously the relationships that we have with Michael, I mean, how could I have the nerve to come in here and pull Vivian's leg if I wasn't on a good working relation with them and others as well, because it is, and Jerry's as well, it is very important that we have a good working relation with the senior people here. Paddy mentioned FOSS. They are now more important because the balance of placement has changed for us. We always managed 50. The state can't be